Hey everybody, here we have a Harley Davidson 2006 Fat Boy. Today we're going to be conducting a triple oil change on this motorcycle. As such, I purchased a complete oil change kit from Maxima from JP Cycle. Some seals do vary between model year, we'll see that later. We'll jump into it right now, let's get started. The kit has arrived and there's a notice on the side reminding you that capacities may vary from bike to bike. What we're getting though should be mostly sufficient. Let's unbox it. Here's our chrome oil filter, 4 quarts of fully synthetic 20W50, 1 quart of primary oil, and 1 quart of transmission oil. That's it. Starting with the engine oil, we're going to remove the filler cap to allow for air to get in. The oil pan drain is right over here, which is surprisingly convenient. Using a 5/8 socket, I'll start loosening that bolt now, and I'll have my small pan at the ready so I don't make a mess. And I actually didn't make a mess, which is surprising if you've seen some of my other oil changing videos. Speeding this up so you don't have to watch oil drain, you'll notice this is not a lot. If the bike is not leaking oil and it's not burning oil and it's been sitting for a while, there's a good chance it's going past the check valve and there's a lot of oil sitting in the case. You may want to put a minimum amount of oil in the tank and run the bike and make sure the case is cleared before you continue. Otherwise, you're going to overfill and make an absolute mess later. We'll have a look now at the bottom of the oil plug to see how much of this is metal and how much is sludge. But with a very light application of brake cleaner, I could see that this is all sludge, and I'm actually not seeing any metal, if any very little metal, on this plug. Our kit comes with new O-rings, so this O-ring will not be reused. While the engine oil is draining, I'll be using a 3/8 hex to open the filler cap for the transmission, and I'll place it safely out of the way. Looking under the bike, between the two shocks on the forward side of the transmission, we see this bolt right here, same exact size bolt as our last oil drain. And I'm about to mess up really bad because there's something about me and emptying transmissions. I'm breaking the tension of the bolt with the deep well socket and getting my pan ready, not realizing, however, that that bolt is going to fall right through that deep well because I should be using a hex key after I've broken tension. And when that bolt falls into the deep well, that oil just goes everywhere. Knocked that pan onto the floor and took like 3 seconds to get it situated again. But by then, most of the oil had drained and left a mess all over the jack and the floor. It's typical. So now I'll pull the bolt from the deep well socket and we'll have a look. And we definitely got some metal on there. I wipe the sludge onto my finger. And as I slowly bring my finger close, you can see those little fibrous hairs make their way back onto the magnet. Yep, metal. But it wasn't like chunks of metal, so I wasn't majorly concerned. So I cleaned this up. I'll clean it up further. But for now, we're going to move a second tray right over here so we could capture both drips. As we make our way to the primary drain right over here by the kickstand. And with a 3/16 hex, I'll be loosening that plug. Once I get it loose, I'll bring this container under it. Make sure I don't make a mess a second time today. Yeah, I'm going to say that execution wasn't bad. 2 out of 3 for me. Very uncharacteristic for draining oil. But we're going to go with it and let this drain out. We got all 3 dripping now. And this plug has extremely fine fibrous metal powder. Nothing to be concerned about. No chunks or anything like that. Even without focus, you can see that this plug is a different size and I can't use the O-ring supplied in a kit, having to get one from Harley. I'll let this drip and move on to the oil filter. Only beaten by the V-Star 1100 as the most obnoxious oil filter placement, I needed to purchase a special funnel as to not make a mess all over this motorcycle when I remove the filter. Amazing. And we'll now go through all my oil filter wrenches that aren't going to fit around this filter because there's just no clearance. Here's one that I have for tight spaces that simply won't do the job here. Because not only is the filter in a bad spot, but we can see that this position sensor is seated right here and in the way of everything. This is my when all else fails tool. This has to work. Nope, it didn't work. And there's a special tool from Harley for this that has a cutout for the crank sensor. I'll just pick one up, but what I want to do is see if I could just print out one for the given dimension, which is 74.5 millimeters. Since I have to wait 2 days for mine to arrive, this one could be done in a couple hours. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I've got 3 hours, so we're going to come back to this and move on to something else. If we have a look inside the box for the oil filter, we'll see a package of 3 O-rings. They're supposed to go on the 3 plugs we removed. It'll definitely fit on 2 of them. Using a pick, I'll pry the old O-ring off. I've cleaned it up again. Notice the hex fitting on the bottom would have been real helpful for the transmission as to not make a complete mess of my work area. Now I'll install the new O-ring, just placing it down all the way to the base. And with a 1/4-inch Allen key, I'll install the plug. This is how I actually should have removed it. Squeezing a towel up high enough between those 2 shocks just to clean around that oil port. Inserting the oil plug with the Allen key, I'll screw it all the way in, finger tight. Now I could switch over to the socket and torque wrench if so desired to torque down the bolt to the final setting. Remember, it doesn't take much torque. If you're using a torque wrench, it's between 14 and 21 foot-pounds. That's it. Wipe down any residual mess that I've made and inspect everything, and that should be it for the emptying of the transmission oil. I have my bottle of 80W90 that came with my fluid change kit. And I'm just doing a quick clean around the oil filler before I get started so I don't knock any sand or whatnot into there with a wet paper towel. And I set in my clean funnel. Keeping in mind what happens next is happening with a level bike, not on the kickstand. And my intent is not to dump in the entire bottle because I know that there's residual oil in there. I'm going for about 75 to 80% of this bottle. There's no viewport on the side of the bottle, so I'm kind of guesstimating. But I'm going to stop here and put this off to the side. Pull the funnel and then drop in the clean cap dipstick combo. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw this in just until the rubber touches. I'm not going to torque it down at all to get a proper measurement. Quickly unscrew it and take a reading. When I removed it, it was clear that I overshot it. It should definitely not be over full. A reminder that it is easier to add fluid than it is to remove it. My vacuum system that I use for brake bleeding makes this somewhat of a painless process. After removing some fluid and remeasuring a couple times, we see that we nailed it right at the fill mark. So the filler cap will now be closed for its final time, seating it fully this time. You can see the way they designed everything here is just absolutely awesome. I just wanted to point that out. And we're done with the transmission, moving on. The primary has been draining for quite a while now. I'll clean around the drain hole and reinstall the drain plug. This O-ring was the wrong size in this kit. I had to purchase it separately. This will be torqued to between 36 and 60 inch-pounds. Wipe up my mess, and we're good. I removed this previously with a T27 to inspect the clutch, so they should come out easily. Making sure I do the top bolt last because of gravity and stuff. Then I'll carefully peel off the gasket. Now I don't have the special funnel that goes on here either, but I don't really need it, and I don't do this all the time. I have a small enough funnel that'll go in the side, stick it just like that. We'll get through a quart in this method. And this is going to be the primary oil. And the instructions say go to the beginning of the bottom of the diaphragm spring. And the supplied picture is ridiculous. And you can't actually see the bottom of the spring from here, but there is a purple marking on the spring that helps you see it, provided it's facing all the way down. Mine's to the side so we could see it in this picture right here. There's that spring. And it should just be visible, the oil line, from down here as we view it. Put in my small funnel that actually fits in here and slowly add oil. But I'm not going to add the entire container because obviously there's oil in this primary. I'm going to add about 3/4 of this container and I'm going to evaluate. Now I could see the level come to the bottom of the spring with a flashlight, but what I could also do is jack it up slightly, spin the rear wheel, and we could see how much of that spring actually gets wet as it spins around. It would give us some sort of indication as to how high the level is. You'd want just the end of the spring to start to get wet. You would think since the level is so critical, they would just put a fill line in the other inspection cover, but why make things simple? From this angle with the light on, we could see the oil just barely visible down there, just at the bottom of that spring. So now I'll wipe up the mating surfaces. And observing the towards clutch indication, I'll line these two up so I can place them back on with the top screw. Putting in the other 4 screws and ensuring that the gasket remains lined up so it's not damaged. And with a 100 inch-pound torque wrench, they're finished off in the star pattern. My oil filter removal tool has finished printing, so I remove it from the printer. I'll remove the supports. And it looks good, but is PLA strong enough, and will it fit over the sensor? I lost the footage, but that's okay, it didn't work. But the correct one for this application has arrived, so we're going to throw it on and see if it fits. And we have that cutout right there for the sensor. I'm going to push it on, no problem at all. So now I'm able to fit this piece under here, and it kind of snaps in. Looks good. So I'm going to go and take this off now and remove this, because now I get to put this funnel back into position without the filter wrench. So I could take a big ass nail and beat it into a Harley Davidson with a hammer. I swear I've never done anything like this before on a motorcycle. Only a Harley. The purpose of this will become obvious in a moment, but I need to put that wrench back on and rotate it 180 degrees so that the hole that I just made is on the bottom. It begs the question, maybe I should put a hole on the bottom to start with, but here we are. So I'm going to rotate. It feels like this was put on with like a breaker bar or a pneumatic tool. I don't know what whoever was thinking when they installed this oil filter, but I got it loose and I'm going to turn it now. It's getting easier, obviously, and we'll see where we're at as I put this piece back down. Moving a lot of pieces around. It's just I didn't even get it to 180 degrees, so I didn't even accomplish what I wanted to do. And I did go back and rotate it further. And we can see that basically what we're doing is pre-emptying the oil filter to make a smaller mess. And I've strategically placed this dish on the floor to catch everything. Incredible. But the filter finally drained, so we're going to loosen it the rest of the way now. And the goal is that this funnel will catch all the remaining oil and it won't get all over the bike. It's just all right here. So I'll pop off the ratchet and remove the filter. All the while I'm holding that funnel in position. And I guess it worked. So I'll wipe it down quick so it doesn't make a mess as I carry it over to my pan. Yeah, it didn't entirely work. But it didn't entirely not work. It was just a few drops here that I cleaned up really quick. So I'll put a piece of paper towel here and wait for this to complete draining before I continue. During that time, I'll swap out this O-ring with one of the supplied O-rings from the kit after having re-cleaned that oil plug. Clean up the last drips of oil from around the hole and reinsert the plug. This one I don't need the hex key to reinsert because I could hold the plug while I screw it in, just screwing it in finger tight, at which point I'll tighten it down a full seat of 14 to 21 foot-pounds. I come back now and remove that paper towel. Nothing more is coming out of here. Then checking and cleaning the mating surface, making sure there's no grime or sand or whatnot on there. And that means it's now time to pull that new filter out of the box. We can see this one actually has a better fitting to loosen and tighten the filter. Fresh oil is applied to the gasket. And I'll just screw it on finger tight as far as I can go, which is pretty much going to be full seat. Definitely can't over tighten it in this method. Then with the ratchet and socket, I'll give it 3/4 to 1 full turn. There's 90 degrees, 180, 270, and there's 1 full turn. Now we'll take the supplied thermostat tank plug here and toss it in the garbage. Replace it with a clean funnel. And using our supplied 4 quarts of oil, we're going to add 1, 2, followed by 1/2 quart of oil. And that's going to be it for now. I've ran the engine and I know there's no oil in the case, but I still don't want to overfill it. We have a new cap. This one actually seals. It also has a thermometer on it and it's not broken, so we'll install it now. If you're using an aftermarket like I am, be sure to measure the fill line against the OEM one. And we will revisit the oil level on this bike when we start heating it up and it's off the jack. But aside from the engine oil top off, we're finished with all 3 oils on this bike. The bike will be warmed up, allowing it to come to temperature, all the while monitoring the oil level to ensure that it doesn't get too low. Once it's at full temperature, oil can be added as necessary to bring it to the proper level. And that concludes this video on the triple oil change of a Harley Davidson Twincam. I hope you found this video enjoyable, entertaining, and informative. Do me a favor, hit that like button down below, helps me out a lot when you do, and hit that subscribe button to be informed of more videos like this when they come out. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Would you like to reply?